Hi, friends. Chris Kelly here. Hey, I got back from a fantastic conference for the last few days, but it's the end of the week and I needed to get my weekly video out, and I was frankly running out of days. So, first and foremost, a huge loving shout out to my little girl, Caitlin. She turned 7 today. So, happy birthday, baby girl. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about stats, a little bit about what's going on in the market beyond the stats, because there is some of that, and there's some things I think worth discussing. I'll try to keep it brief, but let's take a quick look at the statistical data first. You know what? Strung a couple weeks in a row of new listings in the 800s. Like I said last week, not surprising. This is, as markets capitulate and change and plateau and peak, this happens. People start going, oh, I need to get to this. Couple that with interest rates that have gone up and probably will come up some more in light of circumstances. This also plays out. But you see pending sales, they're up almost 100 from last week. This is not a bad thing at all. Solds would love to see more of these closing. And again, I'll kind of speak to that in a little bit. But all in all, the data as far as activity is really good. Median days on the market, 5. So we spent some weeks at 4, and now we're now we're seeing 5. But still pretty anemic. I mean, that's fast. So and the average was as low as 17, which means all things are either coming off the market, pending, going pending, or otherwise closing. And again, I think these types of numbers and beyond may be here to stay. The folks that I listen to, Brian Buffini being one of them, that's who I got to go see speak here for a few days this week. He was not bashful whatsoever about talking about two things. Number one, we're probably seeing some form of mild recession. Either we're already in it or we're about to be in it. Number two, is that even a bad thing? He likened a recession to a little bit of steam off the teapot, cooling the market. It's appropriate. I think he said there's been 9 of them, measurably 9 of them since 1938. A couple of those we might remember; those were depressions. But it's not the end of the world. He was adamant about saying pricing's not, the market's not going to crash. The market's probably not going in the other direction for all the reasons that I've been talking about. It's just math. We have an inventory problem. We have a deficit of inventory, both in the rental side of things and in the sales side of things. And that's going to remain true for the foreseeable future. So what does that mean? What it means is the market will cool. The market won't appreciate at a frenetic rate. Will the market decline? Possibly in certain segments, in certain areas of the market. It's possible. But nothing of any measurable significance. That's the likely outcome. So you start seeing, appreciation look like that. And that's fine. People's ability, the affordability gets lower and lower and lower as interest rates go up and pricing doesn't come down. So, but they're, folks' options on the rental side aren't favorable either. So, and housing, as I've always said, is a staple. So I think we're gonna charge forward. I think we're going to continue charging forward, but maybe at a jog instead of a sprint. That said, the thing I wanted to at least spend a minute talking about was, how does it feel? As a professional in the marketplace and a guy that's just immersed in this, it does feel weird. There's more transactions falling out. People deciding, hey, I can't do this, or I'm paying too much, or interest rates have moved. And people think in the moment. I mean, just intuitively, people think in the moment. So, it's hard to think about, well, is the decision I'm going to make, how does that affect me 7 years from now, or 5 years from now, or even 3 years from now? People think about what's going on in the moment. And I do have a lot of folks call me and say, what do you think's going to happen? But most people aren't really making decisions on what's likely going to happen. People are acting, especially if you're in the buy sell uh, phase of your life in the moment, people are thinking in the moment. So, I've seen transactions fall out. I've seen adjustments in price. You start seeing sellers get a little anxious because, well, my house didn't sell in 6 days and the rest of the market is. What's going on? Um, I mean, we know in the scheme of things, that's not a rational way to think, but it's totally rational in the moment when you're in it. So it's just there's a lot of that going on. The buy side, buyers on one hand are like, gosh, we need to buy before it gets even more expensive to buy. Some buyers are like, maybe we should wait for the market to crash, or maybe we'll wait for the market to come down. But the market's going to come down if it does because the cost of borrowing money has come up. Uh, to the point where it made that happen. So is that actually mathematically better? Probably not. But certainly, we can do the math and compute that. Um, so that's what's going on. That's the feeling of the market. The math of the market is what we described. I looked at last week. It was the median and average prices were high just like they are this week. The median days on the market was low like it was this week. The rate of new listings and pending sales looked like it did this week. So again, stringing some weeks together, you start seeing, well, how's this going to go? It is likely that the market will cool off more as as the levers of the economy get tweaked and messed with, because that's what we do. And by we, I mean other people, not me personally. My job is to do my best to figure out what's going on, to try to assemble that information into something that's user friendly and put it out to you. And that's what I'm doing. So anyway, as always, I hope you find this of interest. I hope you find this of value. Oh, you know what? One last housekeeping thing. Last call tomorrow, our first annual paper shredding event here at my office, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. out in Gresham. If you have things that you want to get rid of from your household, particularly things that look like paper, we would be happy to take them off your hands, get them disposed of properly. The first 100 or so that come out, we've got some cool little Mother's Day gifts for all the moms or people that are going to see their moms. So we'd love to have you out. I know people have busy lives. If you can't make it, I understand. This is just another way for us to say thanks. Thanks for being a part of our world. Thanks for trusting us if we've had the privilege of doing business with you. Or certainly thanks for the advocacy if you've been willing to raise your hand and say, look, my friend needs help or my family member needs help. We appreciate that a great deal, and we're always here for you. So anyway, hey, until the next time.